skills have been added into Anthropic. You are going to go into your Claude account, you're going to go to settings, then you're going to go to capabilities, and then go all the way down to the bottom of capabilities, and you should find the skills tab in preview. Now, initially, they did not show up for me. I switched my VPN to America, reloaded the page, and they appeared. I've now turned off my VPN and I still have the skills preview. If they are only released in America, maybe I missed them before, but if you do not see them, try doing that with a VPN. There might be a way to activate it on your account. If that's not the case, I'm sure they'll be rolling out here soon, or maybe they already are and I just didn't see them. They're in settings, capabilities, skills, and they're repeatable, customizable instructions that Claude can follow in any chat. And they've actually given us a number of skills. Off the top, there's algorithmic art, brand guidelines, canvas designs, internal comms, MCP builder, skill creator, Slack GIF creator, and theme factory. So we'll play around with them in a moment. But first, let's talk about what skills are, or what Anthropic say they are. Claude can now use skills to improve how it performs specific tasks. Skills are folders that include instructions, scripts, and resources that Claude can load when needed. This is really cool. So when you are vibe coding or you are coding with artificial intelligence, you will often have a folder that kind of sits inside of your project that is full of these kind of instructions in markdown files. And during the process of building your project, you'll often be saying, hey, make sure you go and check the instructions, make sure you go and check the guidelines, make sure you check the rules that we've written about what we are doing. It looks like they're bringing that kind of methodology into the actual chatbot, into Claude itself. So Claude will only access a skill when it's relevant to the task at hand. Good. When used, skills make Claude better at specialized tasks like working with Excel or following your organization's brand guidelines. Cool. So this is good that it only uses the skill that's relevant to the task at hand, because the way that we could do this before, we could use system instructions, or we could use like custom instructions that apply to a project, for example. However, that would sometimes mean you are filling your system prompt or your custom instruction prompt with a lot of cruft that is not necessarily necessary all of the time. So you might have forced your brand guidelines into there, as well as your visual guidelines, as well as some rules and regulations that you need to follow. That will all be in one big file. This looks like what it's doing is compartmentalizing these rules into skills and allowing them to be accessed only when they are needed, which is a lot cleaner and a lot less overhead when it comes to working with artificial intelligence. So you've already seen skills at work in Claude Apps, where Claude uses them to create files like spreadsheets or presentations. So that was using skills. That released about a month ago, the ability to give Claude access, the ability to allow Claude to create files in Google Workspace, for example. Now you can build your own skills and use them across Claude Apps, Claude Code, and our API. The new MCP, because MCPs are quite heavy. If you've not used them before, they often have a lot of cruft in them. So it means you, if not used wisely, you can waste a lot of tokens. So this might be, in certain circumstances, again, I need to test this, it might be an alternative to MCPs. So how skills work. While working on task, Claude scans available skills to find relevant matches. When one matches, it loads only the minimal information and files needed, keeping Claude fast when accessing specialized expertise. This is about keeping it lightweight. Because a lot of people will say, oh, I've trained my AI, I've got custom prompts, system prompts, and it does exactly what I want. But generally the way they do that is just by giving it a huge amount of information. That is detrimental when you're working with AI, because you're going to be wasting tokens. If you are using the API and you're paying per token, then it's a really bad idea because you're going to be paying a lot more. So skills are composable. So skills stack together. Claude automatically identifies which skills are needed and coordinates their use. Very cool. Portable. Skills use the same format everywhere. Build once, use across Claude Apps, Claude Code, and API. This is really cool. Efficient. Only loads when needed when it's needed. Powerful. Skills can include executable code for tasks where traditional programming is more reliable than token generation. If you don't want to create something using the large language model, you can give it a little piece of code. Let's say it's a calculator or a little script that you use to work out stock prices, for example. You wouldn't necessarily want an LLM, a large language model, to do that because you need it to be more deterministic. So you could package up a little script inside one of these skills, and when relevant, your AI is going to go and use that piece of code. My mind is already buzzing with opportunities and ways to use this. This is very cool. So think of skills as custom onboarding material that lets you package expertise, making Claude a specialist on what matters most to you. So this is really cool. So skills are only available right now for Pro, Max, Team and Enterprise users, so not for free users. We provide skills for common tasks like document creation. These are the ones we just looked at. And these we can customize them. So let's go and have a look. So the brand guidelines one, for example, I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to try it in chat. Hey Claude, I just added the brand guideline skills. Can you make something amazing with it? I'm just going to go ahead and see what happens when I press this button, because I haven't given it my brand guidelines. It's applying Anthropic's brand guidelines. So I would have to edit and create my own brand guidelines skill, upload it into my Claude, and then I'd be able to use it from there. So now I've created an amazing interactive brand showcase using Anthropic's brand guidelines. There'll be an HTML artifact, etc., etc. So it's mocking up a brand guideline showcase for me. So I would need to create a brand guideline skill for my company, for AI with Kyle. So generally, when I'd be starting a project or starting a chat, I'd have to add that in from a file that I have on my computer. I'd pull all that over. Now I'd have a skill which is portable. So whenever I start a new project or I start a new chat, I can say, hey, I need you to go and grab the brand guidelines, and I'll be able to port it into whatever I'm working on. And I'll be able to do that on the API when I'm building software. I'll be able to use it in Claude Code, and I can use it in chat directly. So this is really cool. Let's have a look at what it just created. Doesn't really look like Anthropic. So that's a bit of a rubbish demonstration. So it's created a little mock-up website for me with some nice little animations, and the palette stuff here is good. But the header does not look like Anthropic at all. It absolutely whiffed that. So it's not that impressive. But that's probably more to do with what was written in the brand guidelines. The idea is important here. The idea that we can have skills that are compartmentalized and deployable anywhere. So this is really cool. So there's a couple of other articles. There's one about how to create custom skills. So you're going to create a skills MD file. This goes through how to make a skill, but what you could do is you can copy this into a chat and say, hey, I want to make a skill based on these guidelines, and then describe what skill you want to make. You might even be able to just write to Claude and say, hey, I want to make a skill, and it would get it into the right format for you. So this is all on the engineering blog, I think, or the support blog, and it goes through the technical details. But again, with AI, we can just say, hey, can you help me build a skill? And it will do that for you. Also, there is a cookbook. Somebody has written I'll put this in the newsletter. I'll give you all of these links so you can go and get them. Somebody's written a Claude cookbook for skills, how to build skills, financial applications, custom skill developments, etc. If you want to get a bit more into the technical details, I will put that in the newsletter. So this is really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and build some skills to help me with my newsletter writing. I'm going to build individual skills for the different types of newsletters I write. So I have a daily newsletter, for example. So I'd be able to combine the transcript of this live that I'm now doing with my tone of voice skill and with my with my daily newsletter skill, combine that to create the first draft of the daily newsletter.